everybody, my name is Kaylie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you guys want to skip ahead to the story time, I'm just gonna put in here what's been going on the past week, you know, about my near-death experience. Okay, everybody, long time no see. I have seen the comments asking where I have been, but before I address that, if you guys ever want to know what's going on and why I'm not posting or why a video might be late or early, I usually post the updates on my Instagram. So yeah, if you want to stay updated on what is going on, just go follow me on there at Kaylie Leas. Anyway, so I pretty much had a near-death experience this past week. I was in the hospital for a few days. I ended up getting an infection, and for some reason I didn't know that I had an infection at first, but I didn't want to go to the hospital. I thought that I was being over dramatic about the pain, even though it was extremely painful. But eventually this started to happen to my face, and it only got worse from there. So once I saw my face starting to like get effed up, I was like, all right, we're going to the hospital. Nope. Not even gonna take the chance with this one. I literally thought I was having a stroke. I went to the ER. They did a CAT scan, which is where you go into this freaking tube and they like scan everything. They didn't see anything in the scan, so they misdiagnosed me, gave me some antibiotics, and sent me on my way. I feel like it was one of those moments where a doctor will be like, well, I don't know what they have, so I'm gonna tell them they have this because I think that's like as close as what it could be. Yeah. So I took the antibiotics. I tried to stick it out. I went home that night, still in a lot of pain. They didn't even give me any pain medicine for what was going on. Like, I was literally in excruciating pain. So then, the next day, I try to tough it out, but I wake up and I look like this in the morning. Yeah. Guys, it was bad. Like, I had 4 mental breakdowns because I thought my face was going to be stuck like this. I would look in the mirror and I would literally cry because I just didn't recognize myself. So yeah, I went to the emergency room again. The first emergency room that I went to that night was literally a joke. So then I went to a different hospital who could see me right away. They got me in a CAT scan. They got me in a bed in like 5 minutes, and they figured out what was wrong with me, which makes me think that the other hospital literally just did not care about doing their job, because how come you guys did the same test? Like, I had 2 CAT scans done within literally 24 hours. I don't think that's healthy. Stayed in the hospital all night, got a procedure done to drain the infection. I am happy that I actually went to the other hospital instead of sticking it out, because in my brain I was like, okay, I'm just gonna take the antibiotics and hopefully it'll get better. Good thing I didn't, because this infection could have spread to my brain or my heart and killed me. But I'm back and I'm feeling better, and I'm happy to be alive, and I'm happy that my face is like back to normal. It's just been taking a little bit for me to get back on my feet from being in the hospital. And I think the worst part about all of it was the fact that like nobody knew what was going on or why I had this infection in the first place. Like, the doctor did different x-rays. He said that he literally could not find any reason why I would have an infection. There was literally nothing wrong. So yeah. Okay, anyways, enough of that. Let's get into today's story time, okay? Okay, everybody, I'm going to bring you guys up close. There we go. I feel like this is the first time that I haven't had like really effed up nails while filming. So period, you know, we love that for me. Oh, and guys, my eyelashes are growing out so long because I've been like doing this routine. Like, here, hold on. I'm just gonna bring you guys up close real quick. Okay, can you guys see this? Like, look at how long my eyelashes are getting. Like, it literally swooshes out right at the end. What the heck? I just thought I would share that with you guys, and if you guys want to know what product I'm using, let me know. Okay, but everything else aside, I literally have a dentist appointment to get to in an hour and a half, and I need to film this video. So if I could stop stalling, that would be great. Okay, but before we get into today's video, I'm going to do my quick usual little rundown first for anybody who is new here. Okay, so for most of the video, I'll be looking in this direction because my mirror's over here and I would like to see what I'm doing. I do tell these story times in a first person point of view, so if you don't like that, then you can leave, and these story times are sent in by anonymous people. Okay, so story time about how my boyfriend's best friend got me pregos. What the fuck Just kidding, we don't judge. I don't judge. Anyways, a little background information. I was 18 and a senior in high school. And I'm not gonna lie, I have no real explanation or excuse for what I did. I know what I did was effed up, okay? But one thing that I can say is I regret it wholeheartedly, and I would do anything that I could to go back in time and change the way that I screwed things up. Okay, so I was deeply in love with this guy that I met my senior year of high school, and of course at the beginning of our relationship things were amazing. You know, we were in our honeymoon stage. I thought he was the best guy to ever walk this earth. But in every toxic relationship, that did not last that long. Things did go downhill pretty quick. Him and I were super on and off all of the time, literally all of the freaking time. We would break up for 2 days, get back together, and then break up again a week later. It was a vicious cycle that happened 24/7. Personally, in my mind, I thought that him and I fighting and then getting back together made us stronger each time. It definitely did not. Did anybody ever have like adults say like, oh, it's normal for couples to fight, but then like their idea of couples fighting was like fighting every day with each other, and then you kind of just grew up and thought that was normal? No? Oh, okay. I'm just kidding. I feel like a lot of people use that as an excuse to make themselves feel better about how much them and their significant other fight. Anyway, so fast forward, him and I had been dating for almost a year when this whole catastrophe happened. And we are going to call my boyfriend Rob. And we are going to call Rob's best friend Ben. Well, Ben and Rob had been friends probably since they were in like middle school. But all throughout Rob and I's relationship, I could tell that Ben had a little bit of a crush on me. And at first I thought that it was just like, you know, a cute little crush. You know, he would be overly nice, a little bit flirty, and he would crack small jokes about him and I getting together. He would even say these things in front of Rob, which Rob would just be like, ha ha ha, F off, you know, brushing it off. And obviously I never entertained this or even really did anything about this situation because one, I did not want to give off the wrong impression, and I did not want to start anything between Ben and Rob, you know, because they were super good friends, and also that was pretty much like Rob's only friend, so I just didn't want to do that to him. But there was one time where I did tell Rob what was going on. So we had all just came back from canoeing and we were all at Rob's house. When we got there, I took a shower, and then after me, Rob went and took a shower. After I got changed, I went into the kitchen, sat at the kitchen table with Ben, and he was waiting for it to be his turn to take a shower. And we were just, you know, talking, not really anything weird, until he's like, honestly, Rob's really a lucky guy. Because honestly, any other guy would do anything to have you. I think you need to find somebody who would treat you right, because there are other guys who would love a chance to treat you like a princess. For example, me. You know, I just hate when guys have to do this awkward shit. Like, I feel like it's always the girls who are put in like the worst situations, okay? Because now it's going to be our fault if we don't tell our boyfriend about this situation. But then we don't want to start a fight between our boyfriend and their best friend. It's just really fucking annoying. Like, be fucking for real. So, you know, I laugh it off and I'm like, well, Rob treats me just fine. At least he's way better than other guys. And then his smart ass says, isn't that sad that you have to say he treats me fine and not good? Or that, you know, you have to say at least he's better than most guys? Like, okay, Ben, you're not wrong, but at the same time, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Like, God, leave me alone. I know my relationship is trash. I don't need to hear it from somebody else. And then he keeps going. He's like, not only that, but you guys break up over the smallest stuff every day. And after he says that, Rob walks in, thank God, because I'm literally about to like shove my foot up Ben's you-know-what. So like I said, Rob comes down. He tells Ben that he can go and get a shower now. And I felt super awkward after that, so I did not tell Rob what Ben said right away. I instead told him the next day whenever Ben left, because I didn't want to make it awkward when we all were going to be spending the rest of the day together pretty much. And you know, Rob confronted him sometimes, because as this started happening more, I started to tell Rob about it, because I'm not just going to sit there and yeah, let this guy hit on me even though he's my boyfriend's best friend. Yeah, no, it just wasn't gonna fly with me. And I think after finally like maybe 3 or 4 times of Rob confronting him, instead of Ben just, you know, being an adult about things, he decided that he was going to start being a douchebag to me, because I told my boyfriend about what he was saying. Like really, like anytime that I was invited by my boyfriend to go out with them, he would get pissed off, he wouldn't want me around, but he would only be like this towards me, and he wouldn't show these feelings in front of Rob, of course, because Rob probably would have told him like, hey, you need to chill out, like it's not that deep, I literally just told you to stop flirting with my girlfriend. Shouldn't be that big of an issue, okay? And you know, I never took it personal, because I knew that he was just upset that I wasn't gonna give him the time of day or play into his little games of him being a douchebag, like I said before. But that was all super early in our relationship. That wasn't like, you know, recent. So, you know, maybe 7 months into Rob and I's relationship, Ben started to get more comfortable with me again, and pretty much just accepted the fact that I most likely wasn't going anywhere, which thank God, because finally we got past all the bullshit and we were able to all hang out again without things being fucking weird. So, you know, we all become friends again, and Ben even gets his own girlfriend, which I was super happy for him, you know. And then all 4 of us started hanging out, and she actually became a really good friend of mine. They ended up dating for like 6 months before she ended up cheating on him. So yeah, they broke up, and one thing I can say that I am very happy for, and I know this sounds so like sad and just like absolutely ridiculous, at least I can say that I'm happy that my boyfriend never cheated on me, you know, doing the bare minimum. I mean, there was the occasional, you know, times where I would get mad at him for other girls messaging him, but there was nothing that I could do about the fact that my boyfriend was good looking. You know that if he wanted to, he would. He should have just deleted his social media at that point. Anyways, thankfully he never entertained any of that anyways. And surprisingly, for a while, him and I were doing really good in our relationship. We weren't fighting that much. Well, that lasted a month until it came time to apply to college. We both had different dreams and we wanted to go to different schools. But of course, like any other girl who's in a relationship in high school, I wanted to be close to my boyfriend. I didn't want to go to school far away from him. So we talked about it a lot. We argued about it a lot. We tried to come up with solutions. We tried to compromise, but at the end of the day, even trying to compromise, neither of us would be getting what we wanted. He wanted to go to college out in California, and I like the idea of a smaller school, so clearly I did not want to go to a huge school out in California. Absolutely not. I more so like the idea of a small college, you know, that was more focused on catering to the students instead of a school that was really just more focused on their sports and everything like that. And yeah, his reasoning for wanting to be out in California was so he could go to school for football, and he wanted to go to the parties, he wanted to be a part of the frats. His excuse was to make more friends. He wanted his college experience. You know what, just like a little, as someone who did not go to college, I 100% get where her boyfriend is coming from, because I definitely regret not going to college. More so for the fact that like I would have liked the experience and the memories. Actually no, I'm thinking about going to college this year actually, so I am kind of excited for that. But yeah, no, I wish I would have went to college right after high school, so I completely understand where her boyfriend is coming from. Back to the story. Yeah, it definitely bothered me, and I had thought that him and I settled on him going to USC, and we figured that I would probably go to a school close by so that way we can both get our education and we can both see each other. But this led to probably one of our biggest fights in our relationship, because that was the plan until he got accepted to UCLA. If you are not familiar with colleges, UCLA is a big school and a lot of people would love to go there. So anybody would take the opportunity that he had to go to this school. But the issue is that I have is like, we had a plan. Like, why wouldn't you tell me before, oh, you know, I'm not gonna lie, babe, if I get accepted to UCLA, I don't think I want to go to this school anymore. You know, the other one that we had planned on me going to. But no, instead he acted like I was the bad guy for being mad at him. Yeah. And yeah, was I being selfish? Absolutely. Am I proud of the fact that I'm like this? No, because I wish that I'm able to do long distance with my boyfriend and not have a problem about, you know, not being able to see him. But that's just not me. So what did I do? I told him how I felt, you know. I was hurt. I was upset. I feel betrayed. I feel blindsided because, yeah, like I said, I thought that I would be able to see my boyfriend more than I am about to see him with him going to school in California. So yeah. So then we came up with another compromise, okay? I would apply to UCLA, and if I got in, then we would both go there. Well, guess what? The odds were not in my favor. I did not get accepted. So what happened after that? I told him and he said, oh, like, you probably didn't even apply because you didn't want to go here in the first place, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, that still didn't solve the issue because he said that he was still going there. He just really did not care. Pretty much we had an argument that I'm clingy and I need to give him some space or else our relationship will never work. At this point, I was pissed off, I was hurt, same as before. And then he told me, he was like, well, you know, honestly, I'm sorry, it won't be that bad, you know, you can come down and visit me. And I'm like, I can drive and visit you. Oh, okay. You want me to come and drive and visit you, meanwhile, you're the one who switched the plans. That's so nice of you. Yeah, amazing. Love that. And to make things worse, some of his friends that were going to UCLA, those were the type of friends who were like, yeah, like, nobody invite your girlfriends, you know, and then, you know, they would invite a bunch of girls over and they would be like, yeah, just like, don't tell your girlfriend, you know, we won't say anything, blah, 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 blah. So yeah. His friends were dirtbags. That's literally what they were. And Rob knew this is why he wasn't allowed to hang out with those friends alone. Like, it's not that I didn't trust Rob, it's that I didn't trust his friends. You know, I'm not gonna lie, when you really think about that saying, it's actually very toxic and very contradicting. Okay, because hear me out. I used to say all the time, oh, it's not that I don't trust him, it's that I don't trust his friends. Well, babe, what? You don't trust your boyfriend at the end, you don't trust your significant other at the end of the day, because sure, his friends can try to influence him, but at the end of the day, it's your boyfriend's decision. I doubt that his friends are gonna sit there holding a gun to his head saying, oh, let this girl do this with you, and they're gonna be like, oh my god, okay. Like, no. No, the fact is that we are afraid that their friends will be convincing enough to make our boyfriends cheat on us. And that's the reality of it, because that also means at the end of the day, you think your boyfriend would cheat on you if he had enough influencing or, you know, his friends persuaded him to, you know? I just want to put that out there because it's like, you know, don't say that. You trust your significant other, just not other people, because you, like I said, contradicting, you do not trust your significant other and you don't trust their friends. So you can hate me all you want for me saying that, but it's true, because why else would you say, oh, it's not that I don't trust my boyfriend, it's that I don't trust them. Honey, last time I checked, your boyfriend wasn't 3 years old. He can make decisions on his own. Ugh. Okay, enough of that. So I expressed to him that, you know, I didn't want him hanging out with these guys who went to this school, you know, his friends that were terrible influences. And then he said that he thinks we should just break up. What the F? Yeah, his exact words were, I'm not gonna lie, maybe this is a sign we should break up. I think that I would be happier if we broke up. I think you would be happier. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, what the actual, like, first of all, that just like really hurt my feelings. Anyways, I cried, I begged him to stay, but in the end, he was a dick and he decided to leave. And that was super embarrassing, you know, because I'm telling you, I'm literally sitting in front of him crying, begging him to not break up with me, and then he's like, I gotta go, and just leaves. So after that, you know, I'm thinking about getting my life together, but I'm also waiting because I want to make sure that this isn't just a temporary breakup, you know, where like I make a big commitment to go to a school that's on the opposite side of the country or something, and then figure out that he wants to get back together and that breakup really didn't mean anything. Yeah. You know, for the next week, I cried in my bed and I would sometimes hang out with my friends, but that didn't really help. Like, whoever said you just need to hang out with your friends whenever like you're going through a breakup was wrong. Like, no, you need to let that fucking emotion out and you need to fucking heal. Like, you need to cry, let it out, because then you're gonna find yourself in the club crying when you even think about your ex-boyfriend. So yeah. Well, one Friday night I am laying in bed about to go to sleep until I saw on some girl's story a picture of some girl sitting on my ex's lap. Yeah. Now, obviously, I was fucking angry after I saw this. So what did I do? I sat home and cried some more. Just kidding. I did what any other girl would do. I put on a very, yeah, the hot outfit, you know, did my makeup, did my hair, all within like 30 minutes. I swear to God, when you are going to like meet your ex-boyfriend or going to make somebody jealous, it is so easy to get ready. Like, you literally can do your makeup in 5 seconds, do your hair in like 5 seconds. It's magical, because usually it would take me like 3 hours to do that. So yeah. So, you know, I show up to the party. He was very shocked when he saw me. He was avoiding me for a little bit, so that was annoying, but then he finally came up to me and he was like, sorry for the way that I treated you. I just need some time to think about everything. And, you know, I was pissed off and, you know, I was like pretending everything was cool. I was like, yeah, no, like, honestly, like, me too. Like, just the way that things happen, it wasn't right. And yeah, I pretended that I did not see the picture of the girl sitting on his lap. So, you know, I kind of just go off with my friends, play a drinking game, and then one of my girlfriends goes to the bathroom, and when she comes back to the table, she's like, dude, I literally just saw your ex. So I run over to wherever she said that he was, and I see him kissing another girl, the girl who was sitting on his lap. And, you know, I try to play it off as if, you know, I'm good, but I go to the bathroom and literally like bawl my eyes out for probably 20 minutes. And I just like tried to keep telling myself, you know, like, he's drunk. This is just some random girl. He has not been talking to this girl. He has not been talking to this girl. It's a random bitch. Well, you know, I get out of the bathroom, and listen, I don't know why people are like this, some people, but when I got out of the bathroom, you know, I fixed my makeup, got out of the bathroom, and I decided that I was going to go and look for someone. That someone being someone who really liked me, and Rob's best friend. That's who. I'm not even gonna make you guys guess, even though you guys probably already knew. Yeah, I was looking for him and I ended up finding him. And when I found him, you know, we had talked about everything. Obviously, he knew what happened because, of course, Rob told him. That's his best friend, but he listened anyways, and he was like, yeah, no, I heard what happened. That's super effed up. You know, I've told you this before. You don't deserve that. And then, you know, he starts flirting with me. And at this point, you know, I was a little bit drunk, and I don't know whether I actually was interested in him during the moment, or it was just the fact that my ex-boyfriend was kissing another girl literally not even a month after we broke up. So I ended up kissing him, and one thing led to another. We went into his car and we did you know what. And I'm not gonna lie, this was not like a big party, you know, so when somebody left, you kind of knew who left. You could pinpoint who it was. So I guess that Rob asked everybody where I went after, you know, he was just sucking faces with some fucking weirdo. Well, I guess like 20 minutes after Ben and I left to go to his car, Rob was asking around, like asking people where I was, and I guess he also realized that Ben was missing. So one of my friends, Allie, told me that he was like just super pissed off the rest of the night. So yeah, I don't know if I said this already, but after we did that, I just felt super guilty and I wanted to go home. So that's exactly what I did, because I did not want to stoop down to his level, you know? Like, I wasn't ready, I shouldn't have done it, and yeah. So I Ubered home, he went back into the party, and I guess that one of my friends like kind of covered for me with Rob. She was like, oh yeah, she saw you kissing that other girl and she just decided to leave. And he like thought like, oh yeah, that's more understandable. Stupid. Within the next few days, Ben and I did the nasty one more time, and I felt guilty again. The next day I was a complete mess. I was pissed off with myself. I definitely knew that I made a mistake, and I knew that there was no turning back now. I immediately call my ex-boyfriend's best friend, and I beg him not to tell anybody. He says that he won't. He was like, yeah, no. He was like, to be honest, I don't really want to lose my best friend over this, which was like, ew, okay. Like, anyways, you know, I was a little bit offended, but you know. And I asked my best friend who was there that night not to tell anybody, and she was like, yeah, no, of course I won't. Like, I think the whole situation is stupid. He did something with some girl, you did something with some guy, so it is what it is. Also, at this point, I had 1 week before winter break, so I did what any other teenage girl would probably do, teenager in general. I faked sick Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So I plan on staying in all of winter break and just pretty much plan my future, plan out what I was gonna do for college and stuff like that, because at this point I hated my life and I didn't want to even think about finishing high school, which is so overdramatic, but you know, I was a teenage girl. Then on Sunday I got a really unexpected text message from my ex-boyfriend, and in his message it had a picture of him enrolling into USC, and then a message after that which was super romantic and apologetic, and yeah, he was pretty much just sorry for how he acted and he feels stupid. And I felt so guilty. Like, actually I wanted to bang my head off of the ground, literally off of concrete, but I still wanted to be with him, and I really was just gonna hope that he didn't find out. He came over Sunday night, we talked for a few hours, and it was clear to see that we both were still in love with each other. Like, we literally even decided, like, we're looking for apartments that night, you know, for the summertime, and just literally planning out parts of our lives together. So there was really no backing out. He decided to spend the night with me that night. Of course, we had makeup, you know what. The only thing that I literally could think about though was the fact that I screwed him over with his best friend. And then, not to mention, like 2 days later, he invited me to go skiing with him and Ben. At this point, I was literally freaking the F out. Literally, I was like, I wanted to cry. I basically prepared myself to get broken up with because I definitely thought this was a setup. But because I did not want to take the chance of walking into the situation thinking that I was good and then like just not be good. He met me at the airport, everything was fine, and his friends Ben seemed super composed and collected and calm. This gave me a little bit of hope, just a little bit. The trip went pretty nicely. There was one time where Rob went to sleep early and his friend told me, well, he asked me, he was like, hey, do you want to you know what again? And I was like, no, like that was a mistake. You know, I wasn't in the right set of mind when that happened. I just don't want that to happen again. He completely understood and just went back to normal the rest of the trip. So I was very happy about that. Everything felt like it was kind of going back to normal. Once we all got home, I literally was spending every single day with my boyfriend. Our relationship was better than ever, and literally I feel like this is the most effed up thing ever, because like, of course, after he breaks up with me and I wanted everything, now he comes back and he finally is ready to give me what I want, but I messed everything up. So, you know, time is flying, and by the time we know it, we are moving into an apartment together, and I also am having symptoms. And I told my friend about it. Obviously, you guys know, I was having pregnancy symptoms. I wasn't getting a period. I was puking in the morning and a few other things that are disgusting. But I went to my friend, she was like, okay, but you could be pregnant. And I was like, there's no way, I'm on the pill, you know, even though I low-key knew that I was pregnant. Like, I feel like when you're pregnant, you just know. Or at least that's what I've heard from everybody. I don't personally know. I don't want to know for like 10 more years. Thanks very much. But yeah. And then I really wanted to KMS, you know, unalive myself whenever I figured out that this might not be my boyfriend's baby. The only logical thing that I could think to do was get an abortion and not tell anybody, right? But it was too late. I told 3 of my closest friends, and one of them ended up telling her mom, and then their mom ended up contacting my mom and being like, hey, congratulations, you know, you're gonna be a grandma, that's amazing, blah blah blah. And then my mom's like, what the fuck did you just say? And then my mom called me crying. She's like, why wouldn't you tell me, blah blah blah. I had to hear it from one of your friends' mothers first, you know, like one of my friends. And I was like, Mom, I don't want to keep it. I don't want to have a kid. I don't want it. I want to get an abortion and have it done with. And it was a huge thing in our families. We do not believe in abortions, you know. Yeah, if you decided to have, you know what, before marriage, then that's your responsibility. And if something goes wrong, you need to keep the kid. You can't get rid of it. That's your fault, which I don't really agree with, but you know, whatever. Well, I guess since she couldn't get a hold of me at first, she started texting Rob, and she was freaking out on him. So then I look at my phone, and my phone is also blowing up with text messages from Rob. She literally said to him, you need to come over here so we can talk about what we're gonna do with this child. And I'm like, Mom, what the? Anyway, so, you know, that happens, and then I felt scared, and I loved him, but I didn't want to tell him the truth because I knew that that would ruin our relationship, our amazing relationship. But we talked it all through, and we decided that this is going to be a team effort, which was even worse because I wasn't even sure the kid was his. Like, I had unprotected, you know what, with both of them around the same exact time. So yeah, I just got back from the dentist, so if I'm talking very weird, it's because my mouth is numb. But back to the story. So then my phone starts blowing up, and he's trying to see what is wrong with me, like why my mom is saying that I am pregnant. So at this point, I literally want to unalive myself. I want to crawl into a grave that I dug myself, and I want to die. My thing is, I knew I loved him, and I could never tell him the truth. Nope. Yeah, once he got to my house, my parents, yeah, we all had a huge sit down talking about what the next steps were gonna be. Everybody talked it through and decided that this was gonna be a team effort. Like, it did not matter. I was having this child. Now, am I surprised that this happened? No, because we all decided we were gonna have this kid, which was even worse, okay, because I was the only one who wasn't sure if I wanted this kid. Like, I was the only one who was not on board with it, but my opinion doesn't matter. Now, the only reason why I didn't want this kid is literally just because of the fact that there was a 50-50 chance that it was his, and knowing, you know, my luck, it's not his. You know, I did the nasty with them both around the same time, unprotected, you know what, and I was not on the pill. Tell me how I couldn't make things worse for myself. Now, the even bigger problem is my boyfriend is white, as white as they get. No tan, not a little bit of seasoning, nope, white. Okay, his best friend is black. Okay, not mixed, not light skin, black. The problem is, if I'm having a child as a white person with someone else who is white, that baby should not come out a different color other than white. At least I'm almost positive that's how, like, that shit goes, right? Yeah, I don't know. But my thing is like, if it's his, it should come out mixed. I could imagine my child would have came out mixed. Yeah, just mixed. Not white, not black, mixed. So, yeah, that was the issue. That's why I was panicking so bad and why I was stressed, because I figured, you know, oh, well, I would never have to tell him. But then I remember. Yep. So a couple months go by, and my aunt and my mom threw a baby shower for me, even though I literally was not celebrating the life of this thing. I didn't want it. I really did not. Like, everybody else, no. Nobody cared about what I wanted, though. And I know you're probably gonna say, like, oh, you could have got an abortion. My thing is, I would disappoint my family, and they literally were gonna pay for my college and everything else, and I couldn't risk being cut off from them. So yeah, you know, everybody else is happy. It's a celebration of a new child, a new life, blah 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 blah. I would say that every day of my pregnancy was literally a nightmare, a freaking nightmare. Like, I was stressed every single day, and I just wasn't happy. Like, I couldn't get the worrying thoughts out of my head, because I just knew that if it's not his, I'm going to lose the thing that I love most in life. Rob. Not the child, Rob. For all I care. No, I'm not gonna say that. That's messed up. I just don't want the kid. Eventually, actually, like, the doctor, you know, was like, yeah, the stress that you're under is not good for the baby, you know, blah, blah, blah. So everybody was freaking out whenever they found out that I was stressed. So, you know, they're like, oh, you know, just go relax. I can't relax. It's not even a physical stress. It is literally a mental issue. Like, put me to sleep or something. And while I'm stressing, my boyfriend is making commitments for us to have a life and, you know, be able to care for this child. He's rearranging everything that he had planned. He got us set up with an apartment. He furnished the whole apartment, was buying stuff for the baby. And we both decided that it would be easier if we stayed close to our families and went to school. So yeah, his dream of going to a school not near our hometown was crushed. So fast forward, classes are starting up soon. My boyfriend and I had a plan that, you know, we would schedule our classes for different times, so that way, you know, I'd go to class, he'd stay home with the baby, and then vice versa, and we pretty much would never see each other. But he was just so wonderful about everything. Like, I just felt like such a piece of shit. Anyways, so the only person that I could really talk to about this she was in Arizona, my best friend. She was able to be supportive sometimes, but then she would just say that I made a terrible decision not getting an abortion. Yeah, like I didn't know that already. She knew that I was gonna hurt a lot of people by having this baby, including myself. But at this point, it's too late. I'm 9 months pregnant. This thing wants to fucking get out. And quite frankly, I'm at the point where I just want it out. I want to get the situation over and done with, because my mental health is literally deteriorating. However the heck you say the word, that is what happened. That's what's happening to my mental health. So fast forward again, I'm about to have my baby. Okay, I'm in the hospital with my boyfriend, my mom, my dad, everybody, my boyfriend's parents. Once I started going into labor, I asked my boyfriend if he could leave the room until I was done, because I really just did not want him in there. I probably would have puked. But that is when I take my mom's hand and I'm like, Mom, it's not his kid. Yeah, I was crying. Okay. I'm crying about a decision that I made. I kid you not, my mom almost fainted, so the nurse had to go grab her, take her out the room. When she went out into the hallway, she sent my dad in. I guess she told him what was going on, because he came in and he was like super supportive. He was like, it doesn't matter, you know, we'll figure this out together. And about 20 minutes later, my child was brought into the world. Now, I was just so upset with myself that I did not even want to look at the child. I didn't want to see him. I literally told the doctors, give him to my dad. I don't want him. Keep him over there. So I did not want to look at that thing. So I told my dad, look at it. I don't want to see it. And that's when he told me that he couldn't tell. So I'm like, what the do you mean you can't tell? And personally, me, I did not look up anything about pregnancy throughout my whole pregnancy, unless it was, yeah, no, I just didn't look anything up. But apparently babies come out gray, purple, and white. Yeah. And you can't really tell like the pigmentation right away. So I was saved a little bit, you know. Boyfriend came in, he met the baby, he fell in love, and then, yeah, let's just say my boyfriend found out. Yeah. You know what? I don't even think that he found out through that, to be honest, because you still really couldn't even tell then. I think he found out because he heard someone overheard my mom talking about it. Because then he started yelling in the hallway, you whore, da 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 da, just a lot of mean words. And my dad was like, you know, don't worry, I'll go talk to him for you. So I'm holding my child that I am starting to like a little bit more, just a little bit. And yeah, I spent the next few days in the hospital by myself. He left. His parents contacted me apologizing for what he said, but also letting me know that I would need to have someone go over and get all my stuff from the apartment, and that I would need to pay up some of the money that I made him waste. And I did. Well, my parents did, you know. It was the right thing to do, because I was truly an asshole. And I never heard from Rob again, and I never got in contact with Ben. He never contacted me. He already knew, you know, and I never wanted him to be involved in the child's life because I never loved him, and to be honest, I just saw the whole situation as a mistake. Do I love my child? Yes. Do I wish I could have still gone back and did things different? Absolutely. I don't know what that says about me, but yeah. So moral of the story, even if you think your relationship's over, don't be grimy, you know, because things could change. Like, if I would not have done that, him and I probably still would have been together today, because I still feel like after a few years, he was my soulmate. So yeah. Okay, everybody, that is the end of today's story time. If you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of me, maybe hit that subscribe button down below. And if you want to be updated on anything that's going on, why I haven't posted a video, why I'm late on a video, make sure to follow me on Instagram. The link to that will be down in the description also. And if you want to send in your anonymous story time, or you want to know how to send in your anonymous story time, make sure to click the link down below in the description. But other than that, I will see you guys next time with a new story time.